I only specialize in what I call the really great bubbles.
What is going on, YouTube? It's Brendan from Market Makers. Grab your whiskey, grab your smokes. It's time for the show.
Go on. They give you cancer. Who cares? You're gonna die anyway.
Yes, that is Frodo Baggins as a child and Home Alone smoking a cigarette. You know, on a side note, I have to laugh because, as you guys know, I'm 44, and that is the movie The Good Son. They wouldn't make that scene in a movie today. Most of the big networks, including Netflix, they issued directives saying they don't want characters smoking in shows. So I find it really hilarious. Like when I watched the prequel to Yellowstone, 1883 or whatever the year was, 1883, so it's the Old West, when 70 or 80% of the adult population smoked, and there's so many scenes where they're going into bars, nobody's smoking, they're just sipping on a beer. It just seems so fake. I think it's hilarious as a society that we're okay with the murder, the death, the violence, the hate, the crimes, but don't show anybody smoking. That might give people a bad idea. Really, really stupid. Stupid. I hate people that try to, modify our behaviors as individuals. But all right, that was a side note. Let's get into the show. Bitcoin, guys, look at the Kepler's triangle. It's a beautiful pattern. And again, we've held here, this is a 3-day chart. We have held here from, Friday, January the 19th. Okay, January 19th. We've had one candle close on the 3-day chart above the 23,103, and as you can see, we're dipping down. Why are we dipping down? Because Bitcoin follows the equities, guys, which is why we're going to look at the VIX as well for Bitcoin, because you need to understand what's going to happen in the equity space, because Bitcoin, to me, this is topping action, and I'm going to show you this in the smaller time frames as well. Guys, this video is going to be brought to you by BingX, our new sponsor, and BitGet. So if you want to trade cryptos, spot or futures, check out these exchanges. What's the difference? The main reason we brought in BingX is because it's the skin of BitGet and you don't need a VPN. If you're on BitGet anywhere now with any other YouTuber or myself, new members joining BitGet this year, you need a VPN. So for some people, that's a deal breaker. BingX, no VPN needed, basically operates the exact same way as BitGet. Tons of coins there. So check them out. Exclusive bonuses on each of them. Those are pasted in the YouTube comments and in the video description, as well as our Discord. If you guys want to come trade with us, your first month is half off. All right, let's talk about the VIX real quick. Because the VIX, if you guys watch my S&P equity videos I've been making, the VIX, the bear market top historically going back 25 years is basically 17, 18, 19. And that's where the VIX is, okay? It's getting down there. It got all the way down to 17. And as you can see, it's below the 50. But look at the caterpillar. See how contracted this is getting? At some point, this is going to explode. When this explodes, the S&P is going to dump. The NASDAQ's going to dump. The Russell is going to dump. Do you want to guess what Bitcoin's going to do? Yes. Bitcoin is going to dump as well. So this, to me, on the Kepler's triangle looks like topping action. We've been talking about this. We had that parabolic pump up, and now we're rolling over. And now we may get a retracement back up to retest resistance and potentially put in a double top, or you could just see it start faltering down. You're going to need some movement, a big catalyst in the marketplace. Big tech, which Bitcoin closely tracks to. As a matter of fact, the correlation between Bitcoin and the NASDAQ is spot 94. A 1 correlation is absolutely lockstep. So this is the closest correlation Bitcoin has had in years with tech. So trust me, if the NASDAQ dumps, Bitcoin will be dumping, and you need to pay attention to that, guys. But let's go ahead and look at this on a 3-day chart. Clean chart. Here's Wyckoff, guys, on Bitcoin on the 3-day chart. You can see we got our up thrust right here to the very top of the 24,260. And let's go ahead and look at this as well. Your MFI, you're overbought for the first time since the all-time high on Bitcoin, okay? Volume looks good on Bitcoin. We had very good breakout volume, a 3 sigma bar sending the price up towards the top of the range, and now it looks like you're topping out. That's what the triangle, Kepler's triangle, is telling you as well. A lot of people want to know, since we pumped up higher, where is the next stop, right? Is there a pattern here in the larger time frames that are showing us where we could go to? And the answer is yes. Let's go ahead and get rid of this, and let's look at this. So going back here, your Kepler's triangle, your point D, again, this is a vibration reversal. Price is in this quadrant. At some point, it will descend from here, okay? Then you have targets. So do we have a pattern showing the flip side of this, where we could go to, now that we have a range of where Bitcoin got to? And by the way, guys, you know, on YouTube and in our Discord, posted a trade for 24,080. The top of that wick. Trade's looking pretty good, isn't it? It's looking pretty good. And we'll see if we come back up to be able to re-enter again, or if we just descend further. You're going to find support and wave up. We'll see if you make a lower high, or if you can come back up and retest the top of the range. But let's go ahead and do this. So trend-based fib from that high in the range to the low in the range to your high, okay? This is what I'm looking at here, and let's take our ABCD tool and let's see what the symmetrical move would be. This would be 902, so this is basically 886, and this would be the reciprocal ratio of 113, right? 113 would get you right here, so 1.11, very close, and that is 14,510. So when this does top out and start breaking down, that's the next key area of resistance. And again, guys, remember, these are targets, right? Just like the 23.1, as you can see, was a target that got hit. And this is Bitcoin, it's parabolic, so it got up above it. You have to give leeway. This is why you use things like stop losses and wait for pumps to die. But as you can see, the vast majority of the candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have 8 candles. Only one of them closed above 23,103. So very, very strong pattern here. And this pattern is going to work the same way. Once this starts breaking down, this is where I'm looking for the next key point of support. Okay, notice this would be a new low in Bitcoin. So that's something you need to pay attention to. Obviously, patterns move, price moves in waves, guys. Wave theory. Price moves in waves. You can get retracements off any of these key Fibonacci retracements. Make shapes, come down, come back up, come down. So this all takes time. As you guys know, I'm tracking closely to the spring equinox on March 20th. If we start breaking down before then, that'll be a vibrational pivot. That could be the bottom. That bottom could be the 14,510 before a big rally in equities, and cryptos will follow suit as well. If we just range trade, which is a possibility, right? If we just range trade until the spring equinox, then that could be a trigger for the selling to start, and that's when you could have your market descent. So it is a vibrational pivot. Been over that many times. I know you guys watching this channel are all well aware of it. Let's look at Bitcoin on the daily. I want to point this out to you. I pointed this out to everybody on the equities video yesterday as well. If we look at some just basic indicators, because this happens all the time on TV and it happens as well in the YouTube space. I just want you guys to be aware of it. Everybody's talking about the bullish cross on the daily of the 50 and 200, right? See, Bitcoin is finally going up. We got a bullish cross. Keep in mind, guys, this was a 55% rally. If you waited for this bullish cross, right? We knew this was pumping. We called the last 2 pumps based on what? Our market makers, Caterpillar, called the last 2 pumps, gave you the targets for it. But if you waited to the bullish cross, look where it ended up. The bullish cross is here. You missed the whole pump. The whole 55% pump, you missed it. This is a lagging indicator, okay? I find moving averages to be rather useless. I use them as key areas of support and resistance and to understand what the big money in the market is looking at. But this is such a lagging indicator that you missed the whole 55% pump. And now, as typical retail, people get FOMO and get excited about the bullish cross, but it looks like so far you're putting in topping action in Bitcoin because the markets are putting in topping action. You have an up thrust outside your range, and of course you also have a high, and now you have a lower high, and now you're getting down thrust in your range. You need to see this retrace back to the upside, or else you could be rolling out, and you have to watch that roll out, because if you back test that area, that could be your pivot down. Okay, so don't trust lagging indicators. Volume is a leading indicator. Patterns are leading indicators because you're doing predictions based on the movements. Okay, you're waveform trading. It is advanced techniques like that will help give you an edge in the marketplace. Let's go ahead and look at another chart on Bitcoin. Bitcoin on the daily. Is it possible we just range like this for a while? I mean, even though it's been boring as all hell, right? Yes, it is possible. And let me show you on the market maker's caterpillar. Again, how do we know these big moves are coming? Remember, this is the 28% drop, the trade that I shared with you guys on YouTube and in our Discord, 28% drop. But how did we know there was a move coming in? Caterpillar was constricted. This was the pump that I was calling for weeks, okay? That's the first level we got to, and then I called the next pump based on the formation that occurred, and we got to the Kepler's triangle 23-1. So if you understand how to use volatility indicators, understand the breakout volume associated with it, this is how you can track big market movements. But your volatility, as you can see on the screen, is massively expanded. You hit the third standard deviation in the Caterpillar, and now you're going sideways. So we could just be ranging, and this could take some time, but if the price continues to show weakness like this, if equities continue to show weakness, and importantly, if the VIX decides to break its 50 simple moving average here and get above it, because it's been below it now all the way since October, since that rally in equities started. It's tested it a couple times, but once it breaks above and this channel expands like this, you're looking at the VIX going above 35, maybe above 50, okay? That will be a massive sell-off, and trust me, Bitcoin will not be immune to that when that occurs, okay? Let's go ahead and look at the indicators here on the daily. On the daily, we were overbought, and of course, we're back below the median line. Price is on a little bit of a selling action. There's that high relative volume with our 3 sigma candle breakout. Look at that volume wave. This is the kind of volume you want to see when you have breakouts, okay? So the breakout was authentic, but can you hold the range? Is there anybody thinking Bitcoin at 23.1 is a great buy? Because there certainly are, if you guys go on Twitter. There certainly are people telling you to DCA in at 23.1. Guys, ahead of a recession, markets have never bottomed, not once in history. Everything will get cheaper, okay? When the equities pull down, when the S&P pulls down to my target of 31.41, sometime between now and the summer, and again, that spring equinox is going to be a key trigger point for potential bottom or a trigger for the sell-off. Bitcoin's going to come down, and we have that target, okay? Really looking at this area, 14,510. Could it go past this? Absolutely could go past it. It depends what happens in the marketplace, what catalysts happen in the marketplace. But this is a predictive target, and this is what I'm looking at, 14,510. We could go down to that 13.3 target that we've had for a very long time. You could get your 12K Bitcoin, or maybe you get lucky and you just stop in the bottom of your range, but I do not see that. Guys, you have to understand, when you have 20% moves in the S&P, trillions and trillions of wealth, okay? The whole crypto market cap is $1 trillion. You're talking about trillions and trillions of wealth. Bitcoin's going to get sold off by whales, people that need liquidity. You're going to see that happen. So watch for the pull down, okay? Very important in this marketplace. I know it's boring, but to be patient. Everything will get cheaper. Let's jump over to ETH, the Ether. Looking at Ethereum, we have the same, Wyckoff range here. You can see you're getting up thrust here. That's 1678. If this ends up holding up, maybe a nice area to get some shorts in on Ethereum. If this holds up, what I'm looking at is this ascent angle in particular, as you can see. So once this starts to roll over, whether it takes some up thrust to start to do this movement, just like Bitcoin did, okay? Where's that chart? You can see how Bitcoin had this ascent angle, then it had a sell-off, then it came back up to retest, and then it rolled over. Ethereum's lagging a little bit behind it. It's still on that ascent ascent angle pattern right now. But maybe you get some more up thrust here in the range and then you start to fall down. And again, I showed you this pattern as well, our reciprocal move here. If this ends up being the high, then you're looking at this move, and this would be your 760, and you're currently at 1628, okay? And this would be your pull down move that would happen in the equity sell-off. Everybody's asking me again, I know we're getting a lot of new subs, so are you saying, you know, that 1413 number would be the bottom? It'll all depend on if the equities hold their rally after they make that first bottom. I personally think we're in for a double bottom situation, just like .com. We'll make a bottom. Everybody's expecting it to be the bottom. The chief market strategists from the 4 biggest investment banks all think that will be the bottom. We'll get a big rally, same in Bitcoin. If that rally does not hold and you come back and retest your low, in this case for Ethereum, perhaps at 760, you retest that and fail, you're going lower, okay? And that's the same in the equity space. So definitely watch my S&P video if you want to see that. Oh, guys, in the video release schedule, I forgot to say this in the beginning, the video release schedule. So everybody's been messaging me, you're not getting the pop-ups for both the videos, so I staggered them. So Sunday and Wednesday will be the equities, Monday and Thursday will be Bitcoin, okay? So that way you'll get the notification on your phone, but we'll release the video a day after each other, make it easier for everybody. So that's what I'm watching on Ethereum. That's a 3-day chart. Ethereum also hit overbought on the 3-day, which again, I don't think this is done. Where did we get to? Nope, not that high. So last time we got overbought on Ethereum was February 2020. That's how long it's been on the 3-day chart, and you can see it right here. So again, high confluence area for a short should the markets continue to show weakness at the resistance levels. And looking at this on the daily time frame, just pulling a simple fib retracement from that swing high to the swing low, guys, you can see this 618, 1664, giving you nice resistance. You're just below it. So again, you want to flip this, right? So in a Wyckoff sense, I'll show you back on this chart. In a Wyckoff sense, you want to do this move. You want to break out, get on top of this range, hit some type of fib level, pull back. This is called retesting your support, right? And then your pivot out, your Livermore pivot out. That's what you want to do. What's happening in Bitcoin is it did this move, came up, came back down, made basically a double top. You're seeing this in the equities as well. Ethereum's lagging a little bit behind, but we'll see if it ends up doing that same move. It's still in that upward ascent angle, so it's struggling here. So there's probably some entry points here, and we'll see how this ends up playing out. But watch 1664, could be some good short opportunities in there. And again, if you do move up, you know, you can see your next level, 1825, 2030. I just don't see that in the cards. And of course, you know, as you move down, you can look back at your other chart here, 1352 at the 3-2, 618 at 1126. But where you are now, and this is 3-day candles, this doesn't look like it's just doing a big drop, okay? This is going to be some topping action. It's going to take some time to set in. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Please do like and subscribe. And next video will be on Monday for Bitcoin. Everybody have a fantastic weekend with your friends and family. Talk to you guys soon.